Today, we profile Tom Monaghan, the Pizza King, the Detroit Tigers owner from 1983 to 1992. He owned the Tigers in '84, the last time we won the World Series. He's the co-founder of Legatus. He's the founder of Ave Maria University. And his life's mission is to pull as many people as he can with him to heaven. He was born in 1937, lived with his parents and his brother in Ann Arbor, Michigan. On Christmas Eve, 1941, his dad died of an ulcer while decorating the family Christmas tree. Tom was 4, his brother Jim was 2. Soon thereafter, 1943, his mom gave her 2 sons to the Felician sisters to raise them in an orphanage because she just didn't have money to raise them on her own. This explains Tom Monaghan's phenomenal love for nuns these past almost 80 years. He graduated last in his high school class. After a stint with the Marine Corps, in 1960, he and his brother borrowed $900 to buy a pizza store named Domino in Ypsilanti. He eventually came up with the concept that he would make and deliver your pizza within 30 minutes and decided to locate his stores near universities and military bases and changed the name to Domino's Pizza. The third store they ever had was in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, near Central Michigan University. He tells the story that on the first day that the store opened, there was no business. The second day, he gets a call from a girl in the women's dorm at Central, Susie, and she wanted a super deluxe pizza. He makes it, gets in the Volkswagen, drives to that dorm, and there's a woman at the front desk. He says, "This is for Susie in room 638. That's all he says. A couple minutes later, Susie comes down with the $5, gives her the pizza, gets back in the Volkswagen. The next night, there's no business. He decides to make a pizza in the shape of a heart. Super deluxe. He takes it back to that dorm building and gives it to the woman at the front desk, whose name was Marge. All he had ever said to Marge the night before was, "This is for Susie in room whatever." And he presents the pizza, shaped in a heart, to Marge and asks Marge to marry him. She said no, but eventually said yes. That's Tom Monaghan, the quietest guy you ever met in your life. 17, 18 years ago, he came on the show. And the first question I really ask people is, tell me about your mom and your dad and your childhood. And we have 37 minutes of conversation. So Tom Monaghan says, "Well, Jack, I had a mom and a dad, and we grew up in Ann Arbor." That's all he said. And I thought, wow, this is going to be one long show. And then he came out of his shell. And it was a phenomenal show. If we had 100 people and we said, all right, which one is Tom Monaghan who has achieved so much? He'd be the last one that you would select. Phenomenally quiet man. He went on to create phenomenal wealth from this pizza empire, enabling him to live a lavish lifestyle, and he accumulated a very impressive array of life's trophies. However, in 1989, one passage on pride in C.S. Lewis's book, Mere Christianity, transformed his life. One passage in one book. And he decided all of this wealth, all these things, it's all about my pride. In the early 1990s, he funded and supervised the construction of a new cathedral in Managua, Nicaragua, after the old cathedral was destroyed in a 1972 earthquake. In 1997, he recruited former evangelical pastor L. Cresta to lead Ave Maria Communications, which became the first Catholic radio station in America, with the popularly known Ave Maria Radio. In addition, his foundation established the Spiritus Sanctus Academies. These elementary schools are now owned and administered by the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist, throughout America. In 1998, he sold Domino's Pizza and its 6,250 stores to Bain Capital for $1 billion, with a B, dollars. In 1985, he built Domino's Farms, a Frank Lloyd Wright-inspired 270-acre office park in Ann Arbor Township. He purchased the Detroit Tigers in 1983. A year later, the Tigers won the World Series, their magical season, 1984. In 1992, he sold the Tigers to his competitor, Mike and Marian Ilitch of Little Caesars Pizza. In 1987, inspired by an audience with St. John Paul II, he founded Legatus, which means ambassador in Latin. Legatus is an international organization of Catholic laymen and laywomen comprising CEOs, presidents, managing partners, and business owners with their spouses from business and professional enterprises. Legatus is mission-driven to help members study, live, and spread the Catholic faith in all spheres of their life, personal, business, and professional. Today, Legatus consists of 90 chapters throughout America and more than 5,000 members, and he says it's one of the best things I've ever done. He believes the most important thing in life is to get to heaven and take as many people as possible with him. Founded in 2005 by Tom Monaghan and the Baron Collier Companies, Ave Maria is a planned community consisting of approximately 5,000 acres located 36 miles northeast of downtown Naples, Florida. It was in the middle of nowhere. I mean nowhere. And today, 20 years later, it has approximately 5,000 homes and an estimated 12,000 residents. It's known for its walkable design, outdoor recreation, and town center, anchored by a large Catholic church. Ave Maria College began in Michigan in 1998, but would eventually move to its temporary campus in Naples, Florida, and finally, its permanent campus of Ave Maria, Florida, in 2007. Ave Maria University, which is a Catholic liberal arts institution of higher learning, devoted to Mary, the Mother of God, inspired by St. John Paul II and St. Teresa of Calcutta. Its enrollment is 1,300 students, and Tom Monaghan has given over $250 million to help build Ave Maria University outside Naples. His is a classic Horatio Alger story, and one of the most amazing men I've ever had the honor of getting to know. Some quotes from Tom Monaghan. I believe everyone on earth has a certain goal/dream in life. I also believe anyone can achieve this if they set their minds to it. You always get negative reactions. If you worry about that, you would never do anything. I sometimes compare my brainstorming on paper to the drilling of oil wells. The only way to strike oil is to drill a lot of wells. The biggest little thing you can do is simply be nice to people. I believe the mind needs exercise, that it will grow in capacity and thinking ability if it is forced to by constant questioning and the desire for new information. The best way to find things out is by asking questions. One of the most important words in the English language is why. One day I was on a plane coming back from Rome in coach, and Tom Monaghan was up in first class. So I went up to him during the flight and I said, Mr. Monaghan, would you please write me your philosophy of life? And about a half an hour later, here he comes with a piece of yellow paper and says, Jack, here it is. Handwritten. 5 P's, priorities, goals. 1, spiritual. Get to heaven and drag as many as possible with me. Only catastrophe in life is losing soul. Always be ready to die in the state of sanctifying grace. Attend Mass daily, 3 rosaries a day, doing office, short version, fast 24 hours per week, confession weekly, and refuse to commit mortal sins, and try not to commit a venial sin continually. Learn more about faith. Social. Be a faithful husband. Try to practice the golden rule at all times with all people. Fight abortion. Listen better. Talk less about self. Don't judge others. Mental. Never stop learning about how to do the 5 priorities better, especially number 1 and number 2. Practice discipline and willpower with things that are important. Be enthusiastic and optimistic. Think long term. Physical. Body. Temple of the Holy Spirit. Exercise and diet. Biannual physicals. Early to bed, early to rise. Cat naps, run and stretch, strength training. Drink moderately, no smoking nor recreational drugs, only necessary medication, vitamins, and minerals. Financial. Profit is not a dirty word, particularly if you don't compromise the above priorities. Work hard, play fair, aim high. Giving philosophy, ROI. Most souls for the buck. Jack, this is a quick and dirty summary of my philosophy of life. Tom Monaghan. One of the most amazing men I've ever met. In a Horatio Belger story. That's the story of Tom Monaghan. Thank you for watching. If you like these stories of inspiration and hope, please like, subscribe, and or share them with family and friends. Until we meet again, please remember, with God, anything is possible. Let's go home.